Hi guys, welcome to today's video, and in today's video we'll be looking at how to collect user input. Now, so far in our program we've been actually working with setting our variables and so on and so forth, but let's look at how we can dynamically collect input from users. Now this gives our program takes our program to the next level. So, and for us to do that, we use the input function for that. We use the input function to actually do that. Now, let's quickly get right into it. So, I'm going to create a variable name, and I'm going to just say input, and like this is all just how we collect input. So something we can do with this is we can add a prompt here to give the user a kind of message, to let them know what kind of input we want, and we are going to put that prompt in form of a string. So here I'm just going to say enter your name, and I'm going to add a colon and a space just to leave a space between what the user will be entering and our text. Okay, so from there I'm just going to print name just like that. So here enter name, and I'm just going to say Papi, and here is going to display Papi for me. So one thing that we have to take note of is that when we are actually collecting input from the user, the inputs are actually of the data type string. So if I'm to check the type of this input here, I would see that the type is actually going to be a string, as you can see here. So whatever input that we are collecting using the input function, it actually gives us back in a string format. So we're actually collecting a string from the user. So for instance, let's now say I want to collect a number. So here, let's say I want to collect an age instead. I want to say enter your age. Here definitely we know that when we want to collect an age from a user, we want the age to be in integer format. So here I'm saying 6, but when I'm running this, I'm saying that it's still giving me the class string. So for us, a way to solve this problem is to either update or modify our input by casting it and say in age. So just like this, I've casted here. So what I'm doing is I'm casting to integer, and here if I run it once more and I have this 6, and now I can see it is of class int. So that is something that we can do, but these two processes can actually be combined into one, and that is, instead of doing this on a separate line, we can actually bring it down here, and after getting the input, I can just cast it directly. So there would be no need for this line here anymore. So here what this does is it actually runs what is inside first, which is collect the input, and after that it casts it into an integer. So if I am doing this now and I'm saying okay, enter your age, and I'm saying 24, and here we can see it is giving us a class int. So that is how we can actually make use of input. So something else that I just want to also take note of is, if you are collecting an input for a string, we can actually use it with string methods, and I recall that we've actually done string method in our previous videos. If you don't know what string methods are, you can definitely go through the channel and check for that. There's a video on string methods. Okay, so here we can actually make use of string methods, and we know that we can access them using the dot notation. So here let's look at that. We have print name. So here I have name. Let me comment this out. So once I run this, and I say puppy, and as we can see puppy here, so nothing new. But we can also use string method. So here I can say puppy name dot upper, and this will convert our name to uppercase. So just like this, and if I say puppy, and here we can see we're having it uppercase. Now instead of doing this in 2 lines like this, we can actually do this alongside our input straight up, just like this, and we can have that. And here we are entering puppy, and we're getting this right here. So it makes our work a lot easier and makes our formatting our input a lot better. And we can also use string chaining as well. For instance, let's recall the strip method that helps us to remove the white spaces before the first alphabet or letter, and remove the white spaces after the last alphabet or letter or number rather. So here, if I am to run this and mistakenly I enter this number of white spaces, and I'm now saying puppy, and afterwards I'm entering lots of spaces again, and I hit enter, right here we can see that it has removed all those white spaces. So these are ways that we can actually, you know, how do I put it? These are ways that we can actually format our input to our own taste, what we want our input to look like. So these are ways that we can actually do that. So here we are actually formatting our input, to integer. So likewise, the way we can do it with integer, we can also do it with floating values as well. So for instance, you want something like amount instead of age, you can just, or instead of, let me say quantity, that would be a lot better. So we want a quantity here, then let me just add this right here. So here we are formatting our input to using string methods. So let me just comment this out for a bit and let's run this. So here we're asking them to enter quantity instead, and once we run it, I can have here a floating value which is 5.85, and here we can see it's giving me that it is a float. So if I print that out, then I'll be getting that, so 7.9495, and I'm getting this value here as a floating value. So this is exactly how we can actually make use of input in Python and also format it to specific ways that we definitely want to use them. We can format them to integer or floats as I've showed us here, and we can also format the string the string inputs that we are getting into the proper format that we have using string methods. Here I've used the upper and the strip method. So guys, this is just how we can collect inputs in Python, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment in this video. Thank you so much guys. See you guys in the next video.